If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. Hi, and welcome to the Law Simplified, the world's largest independent online law school platform. I'm your instructor, Shaveen Bandardanayake. What most students fail to recognize, and this is a byproduct essentially of the academic systems that they're exposed to at an early stage, is that the entire fraternity, the entire profession of law, is as much about competing with one another as it is about referrals and building networks. If you like the type of content that I make on this YouTube channel, do subscribe to the Law Simplified and leave a comment below of what other types of videos that you may find helpful in terms of your academic and professional careers in law. If you are a student in your first, second or third years of your LLB or even your GDL program, I would highly recommend enrolling in the comprehensive online law school platform, complete with theory, tutorial and workshop lessons based on the actual one-on-ones that I've conducted with first-class law students globally. The two key ingredients of success in the fraternity, at least in my opinion, is building networks and garnering or funneling referrals. What do I mean by this? On a number of occasions on this very YouTube channel and the different platforms the Law Simplified is disseminated on, I've often impressed upon you to try and get as much exposure as possible during your academic tenure. Get involved in debates, in moots. And the reason for this, I've often suggested, is because in terms of moots and debates, they're equivalent to being recognized by sporting scouts during college football or cricket tournaments. Why this is important is because you get to be seen by industry professionals on the one hand, and if you are going to become a barrister, you might be adjudged by actual practitioners of the law, be it magistrates or judges in higher courts. Creating an impression at that stage is invaluable once you finish your academics and get into the professional sphere. Likewise, building a network of peers, especially those who may be interested and specializing in areas that you might not necessarily have either the skill set on the one hand or the interest for that matter, is invaluable in the long run. This fraternity is what will really energize and, for that matter, galvanize your ability to not just do well in your jurisdiction, but over time, spread your wings and expand into other jurisdictions as well. Your network is key to building on what you've learned in your academics, the skills that you have personally gained, as well as making sure that your own personal base of clients on the one hand, as well as opportunities expand and grow further. Most students that I have encountered, especially from jurisdictions that have a relatively strict competitive means of examination and assessments, have often been quite closed up to the idea of even talking with or sharing ideas with their cohort or colleagues, especially once they get into the field itself. Now, granted, there is a teething period to all of this. It's not that you can be very transparent and open with your colleagues at certain instances, because you need to build your own portfolio, you need to build your own repertoire before really sharing those ideas with anyone else. But just like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you want to go fast, you can go it alone. But if you want to go further, if you want to expand, you're going to have to work with one another. Now, the value of building that network that I spoke of is that over time, it becomes a give and take. It becomes the growth of mutual respect and admiration of one another in the fraternity. This leads to the next most important aspect in the fraternity, which are referrals. The ability for all of us to cross-pollinate opportunities among one another. You might not have the relevant expertise, experience, or skill set to represent someone or to tackle an analytical problem. But a colleague, someone who has been geared towards that from his academic tenure itself, might be well placed for that purpose. Referring a client or referring a project to that particular person would mean a great deal for him, and it would create an opportunity for you all to network as well. Conversely, when an opportunity does arise to one of your colleagues, that might come your way. This mesh network, so to speak, as well as this referral methodology is what really drives this fraternity forward. So, remember, as much as you might be academically gifted, as much as you might have the necessary skills on your feet to not just represent your clients, but also your firms and the projects that you're assigned with, in order for you to make that next leap, to get from where you are to a higher pedestal, you're going to have to work with one another, network, as well as refer one another work as well. That being said, until the next time that we meet, have fun, stay safe, and as always, obey the law.